The president will travel to New York City on September 22nd to address the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday, September 23rd.
And UN next week, you're going to the UN?
I'll be at the UN. I'll be making a speech, yes.
And are you meeting any other world leaders?
Many of them.
Who are you
meeting, Mr. President?
Well, I'm meeting many of them. They're being set up.
What is your goal from attending that meeting? What do you hope to get out of it?
World peace. Nobody's done a better job than I've done in world peace. Nobody's settled so many wars as I have.
And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week.
And are you meeting any other world leaders?
Many of them.
Many of them.
Not that long ago, President Trump posted this to Truth Social. Obviously, nobody knows what it means. You know, coming into this week at the United Nations General Assembly on the 22nd, it's already known that we have French President Macron leading the way to declare a Palestinian state in which 142 nations have already voted yes and 10 have voted no, and they're going to continue this committee on the 22nd. And then Trump is scheduled to speak on the 23rd, but it's hard to say what he's going to do because he's the art of the deal man. He holds his cards close to the vest, and it's been very hard to find information about what his intentions are.
World peace.
Now, I do have another article here that shows a little bit of insight of maybe what could be happening. But, the most recent stuff that I've read is that he wants to do everything to end the war with Gaza and Hamas. And we've seen his AI video where he wants to make it into, some kind of Mediterranean resort.
We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
But let me show you this one last rumor that I saw, and I had a hard time finding additional information on it. But look at this, and then there's one more thing to come. This information was difficult to verify, but this person said, I forgot to post this, but back on July 25th, Trump agreed to Palestinian statehood, according to Bashara Baba, Trump's liaison with Hamas. This meeting took place before the New York Declaration was made public, July 28th through 30th. Trump informed me of his approval for the establishment of a Palestinian state, Baba said. Baba continues to be the Trump administration's semi-secret mediator and liaison with Hamas, who previously served as an advisor to Yasser Arafat and was a Palestinian delegate in peace talks with Israel. In 2024, he established Arab Americans for Trump, which later rebranded to Arab Americans for Peace in February. He also helped facilitate negotiations between Hamas and the Trump administration in 2025. Now, if Trump or the United Nations divides Israel for any reason, that includes Gaza, that includes Jerusalem, that includes Judea and Samaria, then stay with me for a minute, because there's a prophecy incoming that tells you what'll happen to the one that divides the land.
But over the years, I've seen many visions. One particular vision I saw in the late 90s was missiles been falling all over the U.S. In this particular vision, I saw myself running here and there in the North American continent, particularly the U.S., and missiles were dropping everywhere, So I looked up and I cried out, who dares to throw these missiles at the U.S.? And I found myself saying these words, except the Lord God, who else will dare to permit this to happen? So I was very surprised when I saw that. And very recently, the word of the Lord came unto me saying, Russia will attack the U.S. and the nation will be divided into two when she will divide Jerusalem into two. This word of the Lord came unto me when I was fasting and praying on Mount Sinai, on the top of Mount Sinai, in the last week of November in 2011. You know, we do an annual conference in Israel called the Open Heavens Prophetic Conference. And on that particular year, before the conference began, I was fasting and praying on Mount Sinai. One early morning, as I was drinking my cup of tea, and I was just meditating on the scriptures, but suddenly I saw an 8-foot angel stand before me with a drawn sword. And then he said, this is what will happen to the nation that will divide Jerusalem into two. When he spoke that, I saw the map of the United States appear in a 3-dimensional form before the angel. And he just thrust his sword into the very heart of the U.S., like in the center, and a line just split it in the middle and said, so will the nation be divided as Jerusalem will be divided by this nation. So these are the things that I've heard from the Lord about the U.S.
For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Zechariah 12. The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it.